Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. In today's video, I'm going to use the Daisy Lane bundle to make a beautiful greeting card. And I'll be showing you how to combine products and layers to add some sophistication to your card. The Daisy Lane bundle comes with the stamp set and the medium daisy punch. I'm not going to be using the medium punch this time. I'm going to be using the larger daisy punch for an element on my card. My card base is going to be very vanilla. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5 and scored it at the 4 1/4 mark, and my card is going to be a portrait layout. So let's get started right away with some stamping. From the Daisy Lane stamp set, I have chosen this daisy image, and I'm going to ink it up using crushed curry. And I'm going to stamp it twice on 2 scrap pieces of very vanilla cardstock. Now I chose crushed curry because it is one of the colors that I'm going to use. It's one of the colors in a designer series paper layer that I'm going to have on my card as well. And then I'm going to bring in my punch. The thing I love about our punches is that you have your opening at the top and you slide in your stamped image, and then you line it up inside the punch, and then you can start to squeeze it slowly, and then when you're ready, you just punch it out very quickly, and you have your image to use on the front of your card. So I'll go ahead and punch these out, and I'll be back in a second. There are my 2 punched daisies. The next thing I'm going to do is bring in a scrap piece of very vanilla cardstock, and using the same crushed curry ink, I'm going to ink up the smaller daisy from the stamp set, and I am going to stamp on the edges of this layer. I think maybe I will do all 4 corners like so. So I've got some of the ink that has come off the edge, which is fine. And then I'm going to bring in one of my new stitched rectangles framelets and my Big Shot, that's the die cutting machine that I use. And I am going to die cut out this rectangle from the very vanilla piece that I have. There you go. Hopefully you can see it's got this beautiful detailed stitch border all around. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is bring in one of the phrases from my stamp set. Now, when I got this stamp set for free at Stampin' Up's event, I was in the Netherlands at this event, and my stamp set is in Dutch, and it's my first Dutch stamp set that I own, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to trade it in for an English one because I'm currently living and working in the Netherlands, and it might be nice to have some cards that have Dutch phrases on them. So you would use whatever phrase you want for the front of your card, depending on what occasion you need. So I'm not going to stop there though. So I've got my phrase, I stamped it in the center of this card, but I'm going to bring back in my Big Shot, and this time I'm going to use my basic platform that came with the Big Shot, and I have a brand new product that arrived this week. It's the Subtle 3D embossing folder. So I am going to now emboss this stamped layer that I want for the front of my card with this embossing folder, which is another way to take your card up to a new level. And I'm going to emboss this using my die cutting machine, and I'll be back in a second. And there we go. It's a beautiful subtle, which is a perfect name for it, embossed, which actually kind of almost adds an antique touch to it, or look to it, or feel to it. All right, so let's put everything together now. I have a piece of scrap mosaic mood designer series paper, and I have trimmed it so that it will fit perfectly on the entire front of my Very Vanilla card base. I don't want any of the Very Vanilla showing through, so I'm really into right now having featuring larger pieces of designer series paper that have very bold designs, and I'm kind of loving it. And now I've got a scrap piece of the same suite. You can see it's the opposite side, and I'm going to run that across the center of my card front, like so. And now I'm going to add my embossed layer, the stitched rectangles, or rectangle stitched layer, like so. And then I am going to bring in my Stampin Dimensionals, and I am going to add a Stampin Dimensional to the back of one of my daisies, and I'm going to put the daisy up in the top corner, and then I'm going to attach my second daisy by just putting a little bit of snail adhesive in the center, and then I'm going to countersink this so that you get the beauty of all of the petals showing through. And there we go. I've got a really lovely card. One final touch is I'm going to bring in some of my pearl basic jewels, and I'm going to take two of the larger jewels, and I'm going to put one down here, and I think I'll put the other one up there, just for a lovely added embellishment touch. Now, one other thing you could do on your card is you could take and create, take some Very Vanilla scrap pieces and create a second double daisy, and you could put it down in this corner here just to add another interesting detail for the front of your card. For a complete listing of everything I used and the measurements for all of the cardstock pieces, please head to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. While you're on my blog, there'll be a Shop Now button there. You can click on that and place an order for the products I used to make this card, if you want to make this card at home as well. And if you want to get the Daisy Bundle at 10% off, now's the time to do that. You can also subscribe to my free newsletters. I send a newsletter each week with a project idea you won't see anywhere else. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I hope you create something beautiful today too. Bye for now.